Hi, second graders, Mrs. Taylor here. If you missed our live Zoom today, here it is. If you joined us and want to see it again, go for it. I love it. Today we are watching episode 2 about Mojo, and it is about the magic of mistakes. I totally love this episode. Let me screen share with you now so we can see. Oh my goodness, Mrs. Taylor, why do I always do this? Here we go. Check out our video.
Chapter 2, Mojo bounces back. Mojo was walking down the hall when he came across a curious poster. Ooh, a robotics competition. Well, now that I know how to grow my brain like a muscle, I'll be unstoppable. He worked furiously, and after a few hours of hard work, he realized building a robot would be harder than he thought. But he trudged onward, making mistakes, then working hard, and then making even more mistakes. Finally, a terrible truth dawned on him. He would never build a great robot. A little while later, Katie stopped by. "Wow, sweet robot," said Katie. "But what's it doing in the trash?" "Ah, it's garbage," said Mojo. "I kept making mistakes, so I gave up." "Mistakes are no big deal," said Katie. "They can even make you smarter." "Ooh, so mistakes are good," said Mojo. "It depends how you handle them," said Katie. "See, neuroscientists have studied what happens in people's brains when they make mistakes. Some people give up when they make mistakes. They think mistakes mean they just aren't good at something, so they shut down and stop trying. But when you stop trying, your brain gets lazy. It doesn't get the exercise it needs to grow. But other people focus on learning from mistakes. They love seeing what they did wrong so they can do it better next time. And that process of learning from mistakes makes your brain work extra hard to grow stronger." Mojo took another look at his robot. Maybe all those mistakes weren't such a bad thing after all. Maybe every mistake was just a step along the way to building something great. But what do you think? Could Mojo learn from his mistakes? What about you? Now that is an interesting question indeed.
So boys and girls, just 3 questions to get us thinking about the Dojo movie we just watched. The first question is, what does the phrase "mistakes can make you smarter" mean to you? And I think because when we do make mistakes and learning occurs, and we think, maybe I'll try a different strategy. I don't want to do it that way again. I'll try a different approach, or I'll problem solve differently. Every time you use your brain like that, you're actually helping your brain get stronger and you're becoming smarter. Question 2, think of a recent mistake you made. What happened and how could you learn from it? Well, I was cooking over the weekend and I was using a bunch of tomatoes from my garden. Well, Mrs. Taylor was not looking closely at the recipe, and I made this homemade tomato soup and I gave it to Mr. Taylor when he came home, so proud of my soup, and he tasted it and he made a face like this. And after I tried it, I realized I'd forgotten to put 2 very important things in the recipe because I was hurrying. So I learned from my mistake a couple things. I learned to very carefully look at the recipe and to make sure I check off in my mind or on paper that I added every ingredient. So hopefully the next time I make my tomato soup, it will be much better. So learning from your mistakes. And the last one, if you were working on a project and kept making mistakes, what would you do? Sometimes, I know for me at least, sometimes when I make mistakes and I'm getting frustrated, sometimes my emotions get carried away. I might get angry, frustrated. I might cry out of just being about feeling overwhelmed and feeling like, boy, I just can't do this. But instead, I need to change my mindset and think, okay, celebrate your mistakes, Mrs. Taylor. You know, make a mistake and be proud of it and learn from it. Grow your brain and challenge yourself to think, now what's next? What can I do to solve the problem? That is all I have for today. Oh, do make sure you complete your class dojo journal. It looks like this. And we did journal entry 1 last week, which was your brain is like a muscle. This week's activity is journal 2, the magic of mistakes. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.